Hey there, little man, Catwoman purred as she somersaulted into the Scarecrow's secret laboratory, having beat up his guards and henchmen. Shut up, you latex-clad skank, sniffed Jonathan Crane, a.k.a. Scarecrow, as he stopped what he was doing and turned to face her. I'm gonna whip your dick, she purred, cracking her whip. Scarecrow raised an eyebrow. A split second later, realizing that she couldn't see this beneath the mask, instead cocked his head to the side in a sardonic manner. She cracked her famous cat-o'-nine-tails once more. He sighed, then picked up a gas canister. He cautiously began to advance, ducking and weaving, avoiding her whip, forcing Catwoman to retreat. She sucked in a large gulp of air, then held her breath. That's not going to help once the toxin permeates your skin, asshole.
Did somebody say asshole?
Batman burst through the window behind Scarecrow, his big jackboots knocking Scarecrow off his feet. Once the villain was on the ground, Batman came up behind him, kicked him in the butt. Laying over the Scarecrow's groaning body, he then slammed his foe's forehead into the floor. The Scarecrow gave a little sigh of defeat before falling into unconsciousness. Batman began to get up and then hesitated. He studied his opponent, from his little sack head to his firm and raggedy rump.
Looks like his ass got a bit of tenderizing. And you know you can't have tender eyes without tender.
Batman began to slide his big body armor-clad bat dick over Scarecrow's butt until Catwoman cracked her whip. Not yet! Where am I? When the Scarecrow awoke, he was huddled in the fetal position on the floor of a dank, dark cell. To his surprise, Edward Nygma, a.k.a. the Riddler, was looking back at him, a sympathetic look on his face. So, they got you too. I was wondering when they might. Say, the bat? Catwoman? Is this Arkham? No, murmured Riddler, getting up and opening the small window in their cell block. This is worse. Scarecrow, who was now naked except for the sack over his head, peeked out the window. What he saw horrified him. Yeah! Robin, the boy wonder, was repeatedly punching the buttocks of the Mad Hatter, who was hanging from the wall of what seemed to be a giant cave. His hands in cuffs and swaying at the end of a long chain, he cast a pitiful look at the two of them, a ball gag clamped between his big buck teeth. It gets worse, the Riddler whispered. He pointed to where Catwoman was having fun with Harley and Ivy. Ass to ass, she screamed, cracking her whip, oblivious to the other two women's sobs and cries. Ass to ass! Mewling with pain and shame, the two villainesses made sure that the double-headed dildo that had been crammed into their assholes received a good pounding. Scarecrow, tearing his eyes from the horrendous sight, looked up to see what kind of hellhole he had been flung into. Instead of Batcave, Batman's now not-so-secret lair had been turned into the Butt Cave. The madman behind this subterranean hovel of porn kicked down the door of Riddler and Scarecrow's little cell. Riddler screamed,
No! My rectum! It can't take it!
Shut up, Batman growled, punching the Riddler in the face, knocking him to the floor. He surveyed the two terrified villains the way he would survey two prime ribs of pork.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, the cum in my balls has got to blow. If you cry, I still won't slow. Eeny, meeny. And fuck it, I pick Scarecrow.
The thin man screeched and tried desperately to run, but Batman easily caught him and then hoisted him over his shoulder. Edward hid in the corner and jammed his fist into his mouth, tears streaming down his face.
We're gonna have some fun, little man,
growled the Bat, dumping Scarecrow face first into a beanbag. Scarecrow tried to get up, but Batman flicked a switch and the beanbag started shaking. As Scarecrow flailed, his dong flopped everywhere. Batman quickly stripped off his costume, revealing a taut torso and a huge donger filled with potent bat juice.
Here!
Batman pounced on Scarecrow, seeking out his butthole, even as the beanbag bounced. Once he found it, he let out a of contentment. Scarecrow simply screamed, Welcome to the Butt Cave.